here I have a Redcat Gen 8, all stock except the servo, 35 kg servo, and I plan on dual transmission and a dual motor, and I will show more in just a second. I have beadlock aluminum rims, all stock underneath. I have the magnet clips for the inside, but this body won't be used in the current video that will be out. I will be placing it with a purple body, such as this one here, for the dual motor and the dual transmission, because I plan on pulling a car with it. This body here has a license plate, a jerry can, and another front license plate, just as the accessories, and a nice light bar and a roof rack that I do not plan on ruining during that testing. So this body will be staying off of it at the current moment. So here the transmission's already set up, but the drive shaft down there, as you can tell, hold on, let me zoom in a bit, is stripped, and it will not come out, so I will have to drill through it and get that little peg out, because that will not come out. And I have the transmission set up perfectly, that the drive shaft here will connect right here to the transmission. So I am going to take the center case out and take out these two drive shafts, and hopefully these ones do not get stripped. I'm really hoping they do not. And before I had explained that I want to do a dual transmission and a dual motor, but this motor will stay the same. This is a 550 21 turn motor, and I do believe that it is 27 pinion and a 58 spur, that I believe. I am not quite sure. I'm gonna set you guys down here and start taking off the center case. Give me a second. So you guys can see better. So this is the tool set that I use. It has a bunch of little tiny Phillips and hexes. It is very handy, but I need to get a new set because it is stripping easily now. So here, that would be 2 sizes up, right there. So what I normally do when I have dirt inside there, I take the smallest little flathead and I put that inside the little holes, like so, and I just spin it around inside them. That one I had already did, that's why I didn't do that one. And then I just blow the dust out, like so. Gotta get the rest out because that's gonna be tough getting it out. Okay, do believe I grabbed the right size. Yes, I did. Normally I would use my drill, but I don't want to strip any more bolts more than I did. So just untighten them. If you untighten them a little bit, it helps, and then you can use your drill for the rest, but it's up to you really. I will have to take that transmission off in order to get the center out, because it won't come out easily, and I will need to drill out that the peg screw. People call it a grub screw, but I'm not sure. I know my brother calls it a grub screw because it basically just bolts onto another piece of metal, but I am not sure if that's the real name for it. You guys will have to let me know down in the comments. This is also my first video and I want it to be an interesting one with a dual transmission and the dual motor, because that'll be interesting, and more crazy ones like this also. There comes one. These are like, they're like 12 millimeters. They're not too big, but they hold in there pretty tight. It's the original motor that came with this truck. And I bought this truck 2 years ago, as in a week ago actually, which is pretty neat. Nothing's broke on this either. Everything's all stock except the servo, which I have. I'll show you guys in a second. I don't like to strip the holes inside right there. I don't like to strip them because then it doesn't hold stronger than it did before, and you want it to hold strong, especially when you want to pull something heavy. But I mean, these are only meant for crawling, but I want to pull my car with it. See, and now it is all loose. And normally people take out the center case here, a skid plate, I don't know what it's called, can't remember. Normally people take it out in order to get this out, but they don't really just want to take out the whole battery tray like I taken out. I just took out the whole battery tray, but I had left mud and stuff on it, and it had rusted this bolt and this one here, so I had to drill those out. But there's a new set in here, so got plenty. Okay, gonna have to flip it over, because the way I got that bolt on there, I kind of just used my drill for it, and that's what I was scared of. It already stripped as soon as I just touched it. But an easy trick for this is just to give it a spin. I'll show you guys there. If you can spin something with a strip bolt, it is very easily to do that way, instead of ruining your bolt more than it already is, because then you can just unscrew it with a bolt on top and switch the screw, because you want to have a good one. So this is the transmission that I'll be using. I bought this off my buddy Josh. This is the axial, I don't remember what pinion it's set up on, but it comes off his axial S10. He has a pretty sweet one. I'll pop up a video and a video and a photo of his truck. Okay. Now that I got it out, the center case had come out right away because the middle transmission was holding it. And it comes out pretty easily because your two center drive shafts aren't being held in, like they're not bolted in, because they need to have flex inside. As you see, if you're watching this video, you already know that because you have a crawler yourself. Okay, I'll show you guys what I mean, what happened. See, if you look inside there, if it focuses. Here you go. Come on, focus. Here. There you go. See, it had stripped. And I need this drive shaft to come out because this one's going to be connected to the second transmission. And the front one's going to stay with the center drive case? I don't know. And this one, like obviously, this one controls the front. So it'll be front wheel drive with a 550 12-turn motor. And I want to have a 2100 kV motor, brushless, in the back. But I'm kind of thinking if I should put that in the front, because most of the weight is in the front. Because the way I have mine set up, I have a metal bumper and a winch with metal wiring. I customized that myself. As you can see, the little gold pin in there to hold what do you call it there? D-ring? I don't know. D-ring connector, maybe? I don't know. But this winch is actually pretty cool because of the setting it has. You see this little nub right there? You can pull it back like a real winch, and basically unwheel it. And it generates power if you what do you call it there? If you pull it, it generates power and turns on the ESC and receiver without a battery being plugged in. See, look at there, no battery. And I'll show you. This is very cool. Yeah, and that's without a battery being plugged in. If any of you guys didn't know that, but I mean, you guys can't use that to crawl with because it's not meant for that. Yeah, okay. I have to plug a battery in, turn my controller on. The batteries that I do use, I use 500 milliamp, 7.4 volt, 50C LiPo, 2S LiPo. This one, I bought this one with my truck. That's the one that came with my truck. And it has been very good to me. I pinched the wire, but then I soldered it back so that I could still use this battery because it was the one that I had at the time. But now I have a different one, but I use this one all the time. I have this one here, 6,000 milliamps, 7.4, 60 charge. This one is pretty good to use a short course. I have it the connectors to Dean's. This one's XT60, and I don't know what the other one is. Yeah, XT60 to X1T60. Yeah, that's the other battery that I use. And this is the remote that I use. This is the Dumbork 6-channel with a gyro on it. Oh yeah, it's not connecting properly. There you go. That's because I had it unplugged. Yes, I know. And I have it set for this one here, for my winch to wheel in. No, I think it's 5. Yes, it is 5. See, I have it centered right in the middle, both of them, because I had this one on there before, and then I switched it because I had the light kit on there, but I took off the light kit because it was a cheap light kit. I'll put up what do you call it there, a link to the light kit that I have, and a link to this one. Oops. And I'll put a link to this one also, the Dumbork radio. It's about $70 on Amazon, and I find it's done me good. But I am going to turn down the throttle because I don't have anything connected to it. So that way when I click the controller, it doesn't move. So I do not ruin my transmission, because you could hear it clicking, and it is not happy. Okay, and I'll go on to show you guys my winch there. So left is wheel in, I do believe. Oh, so you were set on channel 6, right? Oh, hold on, just give me a second. I don't remember if I connected it back or not. Hold on, let's center them out. I center them out all the time because I don't know which one it is, and I don't want to be reeling in my winch the whole entire time and then ruin it. Okay, yeah, it's not connecting properly. That's what it is. Yeah. See, the ground, because I didn't clean it properly, the ground is not connecting, and it's kind of like jiggly. Like it's like jiggling the power back and forth, and that's not good because you can ruin your batteries for like that. I have to fix that. What I normally do, I just take a little flathead screwdriver, pop them in, and then clean them out in the inside with I just blow on them, and it works. But normally right now I just unplug it and it works. Sometimes. There you go. So I do believe it's channel 5. Yeah. And left is reel out, right is reel in. And it works too, as you see, reeling in, and I let go. Oh, that's why. If you don't push this little nub, the little turn back, if you don't push this little turn back, it will keep reeling in because it has a little chip inside that reads it. And now I'm going to have to pull it out because that'll burn the motor inside it. See, you'll pull this little tab back forward. Camera fell. Sorry, guys. Hold on, I gotta put my drill summers. I'll show you guys all the tools that I do use for like the builds I do, and I'll pop a few photos of the builds that I did before. So you pull the little tab back. Oh, should have secured that battery, and then pull it forward so that when you turn your truck back on, it doesn't keep burning that motor, because that motor is a little tiny motor. I don't remember what voltage is. I think it's just is it a 7-volt motor? I can't remember. I do believe I kept the package for that though, because I keep all my boxes. Center it like that. Make sure it's all centered. Because if you keep it like all the way to the right or all the way to the left on any of them, and you connect something to it, you're gonna automatically put power to it, and that's what I don't want, because you don't know what it's gonna connect to. Okay. There you go. And so I have the center case out. I'm gonna unplug this because I do not need it. I thought I would show you guys that little feature that has in the little winch, because that is very interesting. Okay. So got this out. Now time to start taking it apart, because I need that back one. I could flip it around, but then I'd have to, no, wouldn't work properly. I don't have a proper camera set up at the moment. Okay, here. This is the one that I'm gonna have to be taking it off, and I will try to do most of it on camera, but I don't think I can, because I will have to use my hand and push the drill bit as far as I can, because it has to go all the way through unless it wants to function properly. Oh, yeah, it's not gonna work properly, because I'd have to have a little tiny little, I could use a tiny nail there, but then it could ruin the threads on top, and I need to put another one in there. But I do have another center cap. Hold on. I have another one, but that's for my 2-stage transmission that I'm currently building. Okay, and let's get to work. So I did try to drill in a little bit. I did that off camera just so it'll be easier for me, because moving on the table will drop my camera. So I'm gonna stop the video again so that I can try to pop it through. So I'm gonna move my truck off here so that I can show you guys what I'm doing and working on that. Just gonna use this little drill bit, screw bit, and try to pop it out of place. I did most of the drilling with this. Some Mastercraft. It's a lithium-ion battery with 20 volts. It works pretty good. It does the trick. Just put that on the floor for now, so that I can show you guys what I'm working with. So I keep everything pretty like greased up, because I don't want any water or stuff getting stuck to the transmission. And that's what I normally do, is I take a little bit of WD-40 and I go around the edges, just so nothing gets in there, and it helps. I normally don't recommend putting WD-40 there. I like to put grease, because grease is more thicker. WD-40 is more to just lubricate it and break down the rust. But it works. It does the job. Okay. So that's right here. So I will take my little screw, take that drill bit out, do this, like that. Put my pieces back because I don't want to lose any. Normally I'm more organized than this, but I just cleaned this up just so I can make this video. So yeah, I knew it was going to be a problem trying to work with those, because you got to have it steady, but I don't know if it's going to work properly. Okay. It actually seemed like it pushed. Yeah, it did push. I'm surprised, actually. Didn't think it was going to work. And it works if I have it on a slant, too. Now, I'm just using my hammer just to pop it out, and it's coming out a little bit. Hi! So, I'm gonna go do this off camera so that my camera doesn't fall off. So, for the most part, it did start to work, but I'm gonna have to replace this part anyways, because you can show you guys in more light and more focus. You can see that my little drill bit is damaging that, but it's just for the dual motor and the dual transmission, because this is going to have to be changed anyways because it's the original drive shaft and I want to go aluminum or all metal. So I'm going to have to take out this part, and the holes in the drive shaft so that I can take this out, because it's just the 3 gears that hold it together and the little pins inside. So show you guys in a second. So right now, just getting some drill bits and gonna take this whole thing apart. Yeah, see, it already started damaging this. It's got a little ring around it, but this one was the one that I had bought somewhere else. That's not the Mastercraft set that I had bought. That's why I didn't mind breaking it. I do believe you start off with this one. It's very good that in the RCs that you buy, most of them are the same screws until you get the smaller areas like this. But when you know them and you work with them a long time, you know what they are right away. Because I even have this set here that I use sometimes, but it sits out in the back most of the time. That's why it's kind of rusty. See, now that it's stripping a little bit, I get my little flathead. See, I get the tiniest one, the really, really small one, so that it's smaller than the little drill bit that I do have, and that it works properly. Now, I don't know if I'll have the transmission on in this video, because I might have to buy a whole new drive shaft, depending if I have to cut off that piece, because I don't know if the hammering it out would work. See, the dirt's not coming out because it's all oiled, and oil sticks to dirt, and dirt sticks to oil. Oh yeah, I got it out. This one I do not like to use, just to recommend. This is the star-shaped hex. It's basically used for little tiny ones, and it helps, but they all, like, most of the time strip your bolts. I do not recommend using these ones. These are the ones that I do recommend using. I don't know if it's gonna focus. Can you guys see that? Yeah, those are the ones that I do recommend, because it's most likely if it's stuck on there, it'll strip because of the Loctite that the companies do put it on. Which is pretty good though. Some companies don't put on Loctite. Yeah, that one didn't have Loctite. You also will tell right away, because like some of them, I think you can get clear Loctite. I'm not really sure, but it'll show blue on the tip, which isn't on there. So that shows me that it wasn't Loctite on there, which I had Loctite, but I do not know where it went. And I like to keep my bolts in order, so I put them in the same area. It is also 1 in the morning and I work tomorrow. So I should try to hurry this up. Just gonna get you guys closer, because I feel like I'm not showing you guys everything. No, I made the dumb mistake. I didn't take the front drive shafts out. Yeah. So this one is 2 sizes under. Just give me a second. Did the rookie mistake and not put the right one. Whoops. See, what I normally do is, if it's not going to come out with a little bit of strength, which I can feel it. Normally you'll feel it right away, and that's what you want to look for. But the back one, I did not feel it. I felt it strip right away. And that was very upsetting, because I've never changed a part on this truck. That's how reliable it has been. I've wanted to upgrade it, but it was doing me really good, so I did not want to change a part on here. The only thing that did do me wrong was the servo. And I have it right here. I still kept it. It's pretty plain servo. Like, it still works, but it doesn't do like exactly what you want it to do. Like, you'll turn left and it goes quarter left. You turn right, it goes full right. And it did center it, and then it did the same thing right after. I took off the servo horn and it did it again. So that's why I got the 35 kg. Okay, so this one came out perfect. And now I gotta do the back. Just get comfortable. So here, I go slow. Like I said, I go very slow so that I do not strip it. See, this one's very tight on there, which makes sense, right? So I grab my WD-40. Last time, the reason why it stripped is because I was trying to rush, and you should never rush. So also just supposed to shake it, but I don't like shaking it, because I find it goes right in when you don't shake it. Normally try to beat on, like, just not beat on it, like get something small. Just get something small and start hitting it. Just light taps, just so you break that contact with the other side of that little peg. And these are like little like grub screw or pegs. I don't know what they really are, but I call them peg screws. But my brother calls them grubs, and my other buddy calls them grubs too. I mean, if it works, right? So that's the thing, like, you don't want to strip it, and so when you get that tight, you want to kind of let it go slowly. See, I don't want to push all the way because I don't want to strip this one also. But if not, I'll just buy the whole center, the whole thing. Just order the whole thing, because that'll be annoying to having to like hammer the whole thing out, this side and then this side. But I do have replacement parts for these pieces. Hold on. They're not the right ones though. I think these ones belong to my slash. Here. Yeah, these ones are a bit thicker than these ones. And these ones are plastic. And these ones are metal. So that wouldn't go well. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, I pushed it out of the way. Sorry, guys. Yeah, see, that wouldn't go well. And I wouldn't want to do that. And I don't know why I'm making this a very long video, but oh well. That's what RC life is about. See, you want to make sure that it's not stripping. If you look right in there, you can see that it already looks kind of silver when it was just looking rusty not long ago. And that's what I don't want, because I really do not want to strip it, because that's what happened to the rear one. I hope it comes out easily, because that'll be a pain in the butt. I would use the Allen keys for that, but the last time I used the Allen keys to get something like this out, it stripped it right away. Because you're putting so much force on like an angle, then it strips one side and then you strip the whole thing. But if you have it fully down like this and then twist it, you won't put it on an angle. Yeah. You can even hear my bones cracking. Normally it helps to try to tighten it, then untighten it, go back and forth, but I'm just going to try to hit it around to see if it'll break contact. Just have a little hammer. Don't want to hit it too hard because you do not want to upset, like, disturb the gears inside. You don't want to make them hit each other too hard because then you could strip it. But I've never heard that on the crawler unless you put like a big motor in there and try to make it go fast. Go. That could be the case that my hands are greasy. Just give me a second. Always keep some paper towel on hand because it helps you. Wash up my tools also because that's very greasy. So let's give it a shot. There you go. It came out. Still kind of tight because I have it at an angle. Yeah, there you go. That's very good. Glad I didn't have to hit that one on. I'm very sad that that one happened like that. I did not want it to do that. I hope it comes out fairly easy though, because I do have spare grub screws for that. Because I do builds, and I buy secondhand builds so that I could sell them to people that can't really afford full price RCs. Because I know how it is, and I know sometimes you can't afford things like that. Because I was once like that. I couldn't afford these. So normally when you take them out, you want to make sure there's no dirt around the seal. I don't think these ones are sealed, actually. I think it's just the main transmission that's sealed. But this one's a divorce transmission, so I'm not sure if it's sealed or not. We'll see. And I'll show you guys a trick that I'm going to do that helps you basically save you from ruining that. And if you rebuild the transmission before, you know what you're doing. So I shouldn't, well, it's nice when people explain it because then you know in the long run. So you take something apart and you try to repair something you wanted to do for so long. Oh, these are plastic. These are plastic. What? Well, that's a bummer. I didn't know that they were actually plastic. That's my cat. She is adorable. And she knows she can cry for her dad, and then she gets what she wants. And you can hear her crying. Just give me a second. These little pegs have a hard time coming out, and you struggle to get them inside. There you go. Normally just like kind of like move it slowly till it pops out. And see how that's not going to come out because it's sealed on the inside, because that's the one I didn't grease up properly. Here. Okay. I wonder why it's not letting me. I know that's going to slide out with it. Oh, I see the problem. Okay, that's going to be a huge problem. See, it's supposed to slide out this way because you're supposed to take the rear one off first. but in that case that this one's stripped, so it won't work properly. So that is gonna suck. So I will just take these bearings out and then redo it properly. Hold on. Just grab a flathead. So this is my first YouTube video, so it's a lot different. And this is all greased up, so you want to put it back where the greasy stuff is, so you do not lose anything. Especially getting greasy stuff on sand really sucks because you gotta ungrease it, get it all away from it. Just give me a second. Ungrease everything and then freaking re-grease it, and it's a pain in the butt. Yeah, see that? There's a little, like, basically a little peg in there that stops it from going through, which makes sense, but pain in the butt. Unless that's just a sealed tiny bearing. I know some transmissions just have little tiny seals. That's not the case with this one though. That's alright. As long as it still spins freely. But I need this one off, so get to work on that. Okay. So like I said before, grab a little tiny screw bit. Don't lose the screw bits that you have used. Put them all in the same order so you know which one to use to put back in. Okay, we'll be back in just a second. So it looks like we'll have to end the video here, and I will have to wait till I can get a new drill bit to fit in there, because the small drill bits that I do have, they will fit in there, but they'll snap right away. So we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.